Hey there guys, it's Torrance with Swordguy Builds. Today I'm going to talk about the form associated with cracking very long whips. Long whips are kind of limited in that you stop being able to do the full loop cracks, like the cattleman's crack, the overhead. You can still do them up to a point, but it becomes very difficult because you're moving so much whip. So generally, people will just do flicks, overhand flicks, sidearm flicks. Long whips obviously can be very hard because they're very heavy. And if you're new or you just don't have good form, then you're probably going to hurt your shoulders. So no matter which move you're going for, you're going to need to have the whip laid out very straight behind you. If it's off at a weird angle and you throw it hard, it's probably going to hit you. I have matching scars on my ankles from that. So when it's laid out, you need to raise your arm up a little bit while dragging the whip slowly forward. The idea is that you need it to float. The more whip you get off the ground before you start the hard motion of throwing the whip, the easier that motion will be on your body. So if you start the motion slowly, by the time you actually get to the part where you need to flick your wrist, it's not nearly as hard as it would be if you started cold. Another thing about having a very long whip is it doesn't hang in the air like a shorter whip. So you need to give it a sort of upward angulature when you cast it so that it just doesn't hit the ground under its own weight. One thing a lot of people do when they're first learning to handle very long whips is their follow through will go back and up toward their face, and this does a couple things. It increases the strain on the thong of the whip and reduces the backward tension that you can exert on it. So after you cast it out, create that backward tension down toward your leg. That'll be a much more organic motion for your body to do. Long whips really have to be thrown carefully. You need to make sure that your throwing arm stays in its plane. It really takes a lot of discipline in the wrist and the arm, and that's just a skill that you'll have to practice. Depending on the length, you can also try to do a few low complexity volley moves, fast figure eights, arrowheads. But all these moves carry the same core logic of starting slow, hastening only at the end of the motion during the wrist flicking action, plane control, wrist control, and follow through. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope this helps. You can also order whips up to 40 feet in length under the nylon cow whips listing at swordguybuilds.com. Talk to you all soon. Thank you very much.